What's up guys, my name is Stoody. I'd like to welcome you all back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be doing my round 21 tips for the 2024 AFL season. Before we get into this week's tips, let's go ahead and see how it went last week. So last week I got 6 out of 9 tips correct, which now moves me up to 135 tips for the season. So let's go ahead and see what ones I got correct and what ones I got incorrect. So here are the ones I got correct. I tipped Carlton to defeat Port Adelaide. However, Carlton were robbed big time in that game, so that does count as a correct tip. I tipped Geelong to defeat North Melbourne. I tipped Gold Coast to defeat Brisbane. However, I did hear that game was rigged, so that will count as a correct tip. I tipped the GS Giants to defeat Melbourne. I tipped Fremantle to defeat West Coast. And I tipped Adelaide to defeat Hawthorn, but that tip does count due to match fixing. Now the 3 that I got incorrect were that I tipped Essendon to defeat St Kilda. I tipped Richmond to defeat Collingwood, and I tipped Sydney to defeat the Western Bulldogs. Alright, so it is now time to move on to this week's tips. Now I am sick, so yeah, I'm going to try and make this short and sweet if I can. So we've got the Western Bulldogs taking on Melbourne at Marvel Stadium. Going to tipping the Western Bulldogs in this one by 27 points. So the Bulldogs are flying. They have won 3 in a row against solid opposition. They beat Sydney in Sydney, and before then they beat Geelong in Geelong. And then they had a good win against Carlton. So the Dogs are on a roll. They're in the 8, and Melbourne struggling a bit. So I just think at home the Bulldogs should be too strong for Melbourne. Another Friday night game. What the fuck? Why is there 2 Friday night games? Like, how retarded do the AFL have to be? We have West Coast and on Gold Coast at Optus Stadium. I'm going to tip Gold Coast in this one by 17 points. Yeah, I know the rule do not tip Gold Coast when they're away from home, but Gold Coast lost their first game at home last week. That was due to match fixing, though technically they did win, but I'm going to tip it first here, and I think Gold Coast get the job done, get their first away win of the season, as West Coast just aren't really that good, really. Moving on to Saturday afternoon, we have North Melbourne taking on Richmond VFL at Marvel Stadium. I may or may not do a live reaction stream to this, depends on how I'm feeling at the time, I guess. But I'm going to be tipping Richmond VFL in this one by 94 points. Richmond beat Sydney by 5 points. Sydney beat North Melbourne by 89 points. So add it all together, adds up to 94 points. So Richmond are a 94-point better team than North. And the only way Richmond are losing this one is due to match fixing. Richmond should be able to easily account for North Melbourne, even though Richmond will be having a VFL team playing in this one. Moving on to Saturday twilight, we have Geelong taking on Adelaide at GMHBA Stadium. I'm going to tipping Geelong in this one by 31 points. Geelong, they're hard to beat at home. The Crows not in good form, so I think Geelong should be too strong at home. Geelong trying to make the 8. The Crows are basically cooked, so yeah, I think Geelong take home the chocolates here. Saturday night, we have Collingwood taking on Carlton at the MCG. Both teams are in some terrible form, so this is a tough one, but I'm going to tip Carlton in this one by 4 points. I just think Carlton are the better team. Collingwood have a million injuries, and I think Collingwood, they did keep their season alive last week, but I think the Blues could be the ones to bury them this week. With a close win, this one can go either way, so Carlton are in some terrible form. I'm tipping Carlton, but with no real confidence at all, to be fair. The other Saturday night game, we have Port Adelaide taking on Sydney at the Adelaide Oval. I'm going to Port Adelaide in this one by 16 points. Home ground advantage is massive in this one. Sydney are in some terrible form. They've lost 4 of their last 5. Port are starting to find their form with a win against Carlton last week. Port, they'll be desperate to make the 8, so I think they'll get the job done at home. Home ground advantage is always huge. Moving on to Sunday afternoon, we have the GWS Giants taking on Hawthorn at Manuka Oval. I'm going tipping the GWS Giants in this one by 72 points. GWS Giants should be able to easily account for Hawthorn. Hawthorn are a terrible team. The only reason they've been winning is because of the fact that they've been protected by the match fixing, and every team they've versed has either been like a team on the bottom, a team depleted with injuries, or a team in bad form, and the match fixing obviously helping them. When they versed Geelong, they sort of showed what sort of team they really are, a garbage team. And we will see that in this GWS game as GWS destroy Hawthorn in Canberra. The other Sunday afternoon game, we have Essendon taking on Fremantle at the MCG. I'm going to tipping Fremantle in this one by 20 points. I'm not with a whole heap of confidence. I can easily see, with the way this season is, I can easily see Essendon going ahead winning, bringing their season back to life, but it's Essendon. Remember, they always drop off at the end of the year, and their fans will have to be pissed off that it's happening again. So I just have to tip Fremantle in this. You cannot trust Essendon at this time of the year. Moving on to Sunday twilight, we have St Kilda taking on Brisbane at Marvel Stadium. I'm going to be tipping Brisbane in this one by 23 points. Brisbane will have the protection from the match fixing that they always do, so they should be able to get the job done regardless of home ground advantage. I'm sure St Kilda will be competitive, but Brisbane should be too good for St Kilda in the end here in this one. So I guess that's it for the tips. Feel free to leave your tips in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment more like this. Be sure to become a channel member. Just click the join button next to my name. Also, be sure to subscribe to my premium member, Sean Ducks. Link to his channel is in the description. Also, be sure to subscribe to my other YouTube channels, my Discord, and other social media links are also in the description. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video.